Okay, so I'm Lyndsey Caldwell, I'm Head of English at the Caldwell School in Oxford. And my talk was about things that I've done with my faculty to sort of shift the culture so that it's very much rooted in research and follow some core research-based principles. But before that, actually, the kind of two guiding principles for me as a faculty leader are doing the stuff that makes the most difference for the most vulnerable students, and that will filter up, and then making sure everything's really manageable for staff. So every change needs to be better working for staff. As English teachers, there's a lot of pressure on us to get it right, and a lot of pressure to mark stuff, and it's really important for all of those things about cultural capital and access, not just for school and GCSE, but beyond. So we have three kind of core priorities as a faculty. The first one is the prioritisation of knowledge, and making sure then that the knowledge that we teach them is the best possible knowledge. It gives them access to conversations that they might otherwise be excluded from, and long term, right the way through life. We've worked on crafting our direct instruction, so training on the quality of our explanations and making sure our explanation is really clear, and then making sure that all of our assessments are standardised and actually given to staff in advance, so staff know where they're going. The key part of that really is the quality of the curriculum and making sure that it is absolutely spot on for where we want them to be, and Christine Council's blog on the curriculum has been really important. That sense of that narrative journey that they can make, and how all those strands of everything that they're doing tie together, so their experience of literature is empowering and unifying. Actually, it sort of sends them off into the world better. It seems a bit crass to say better people, but better readers and better writers, actually, with the cultural capital that comes with English. So we kind of restrict the focus in what we want them to do. So we do the same things right the way through, actually up into Key Stage 5. So they discuss, they annotate, and then they write a lot. So we do a thing called quotation exploders, and that is quite, we show them how to do that a lot. But because they're doing the same things, they don't have to think about the task. They can just engage with the text, actually, and that repetition isn't boring, because the texts that they are studying and their knowledge of that is really good. So it restricts that focus so that they can engage in a deeper, more meaningful way with the stuff that they're studying.
Perfect. And one thing that really stood out to me was the way that you then assess that, or perhaps some people might say don't really assess that. You spoke about giving feedback as guided models, if I understood correctly. And then you also spoke about multiple choice, sort of more declarative knowledge. Do you mind?
Yeah, so there's two things there. So we do a lot of multiple choice assessment because that's manageable for staff, and you can assess what they know and then fill in the gaps that they don't. And then the second bit was more about
the guided. You mentioned something about giving them a model.
Oh yeah, the sentence stems.
Yeah.
It actually comes from a Phil Stock session I went to quite a while ago at Pixel, called The Anatomy of Academic Language or something like that. So we've taken that and changed it into these sentence stems. So it's unapologetic modelling to give them the language to be able to access the texts as well. So we really strip back high quality academic style in written style and written tasks, and then give them this as a tool to be able to write about it well as well. We don't give a task without modelling it first. It might be small, you know. So the thing that we have in our school is low access, high challenge. So the models are always differentiated. So one that everybody in the classroom can do as an example. So you've got clarity in terms of annotation. You don't want them to just like metaphor. you know,
Yeah.
actually, how are you going to do that properly? And then high challenge. So, and then we explain the difference between those models often.